food they give you, and that's what you're gonna rate the
That's a
commission.
good idea.
Yeah. Committees and
Recording in progress.
Got one I want to talk to you about as well.
thanks a lot.
I got a
Jail standards. Hey.
Good morning, everyone. Let's call court to order. Today is Tuesday, March the 4th, 2025. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Thursday, February 27, 2025 at 4:36 p.m. and a supplemental agenda was posted on Friday, February 28, 2025 at 1:50 p.m.
Thank you. Okay, let's stand briefly for a moment of silence, and we'll have Veteran Service Officer Steve Hernandez lead us in the pledge. At this time, if there's any members of the audience who want to speak to the court on business matters, please do so at this time. All right, seeing none, I'd like to go to proclamations regarding the dedicated of last weekend in April 2025 as Biker Against Child Abuse Heroes Day. Call on Commissioner Smith.
I think we're going to ask if that be deferred at this time.
Okay. All right, there's a motion to defer.
second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, under item D2, I think, Dustin, you have a proclamation.
Yes, sir. So, Judge, this is just a resolution approving the appointment to the Board of Directors for the Heart of Texas Housing Finance Corporation. And back in 2023, we had received notice that their board president was stepping down, and our Commissioners Court had nominated Commissioner Perry to the Board of Directors, and then it has to go to all those participating counties. We finally have word back from all those counties that they have approved Commissioner Perry's appointment to the board, and per the bylaws, we just need to have this resolution that needs to be formally submitted for that appointment. So that's
Okay.
what's before you today.
Thank you. All right, that resolution's in your package. If there's not any questions, is there a motion to approve that resolution?
So move.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, D3, this is a motion, ratification for a proclamation that Mr. Jones, Commissioner Jones brought in. It's the ratification of the proclamation recognizing and honoring William Ray Raymond
Zaharniak.
Cardiac, aka Pete Wee.
Pee Wee.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
All right. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Thank you. Motion made and second to honor Kiwi. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, under D4 is proclamation honoring Mr. Marco Cunningham. Call on Commissioner Wilson.
Thank you. Marco, you want to come up here and just stand in front here for me? I can read this to you, and then we'll get some pictures. It's a proclamation of McLennan County Commissioners Court honoring Mr. Marco Cunningham. Whereas communities exist, strive, and are enhanced through the talents and skills of those citizens dedicated to purposeful persistence, sustained in moral values and ethical standards. And whereas the McLennan County Commissioners Court, mindful of its important positivity of citizenship, believes it's significant of recognizing those individuals who positively affect the community in which they work, live. And whereas Marco Cunningham, a senior at Rappaport Academy, Meyer High School, has consistently demonstrated unwaveringly dedication and perseverance, I cannot say that word today, throughout his high school and cross-country career, culminating in a remarkable first-place finish at the UIL Class 2A State Cross-Country Championship and his outstanding performance in the 5,000-meter race, competing in the course in an impressive 16 minutes and 12.7 seconds, exemplifies his endurance, discipline, and relentless pursuit of excellence. And whereas, as a four-time state qualifier and last year's civil medalist, Marco, and I do like that because you kept trying, and that's an awesome commitment for you. It's a deep commitment to his teammates, his peers, which determination, resilience, and sportsmanship. And whereas Marco's contributions extend beyond athletics, he has demonstrated a deep commitment to his community through dedicated service of the Waco Youth Council, showcasing leadership and civil responsibilities beyond the track. And whereas Marco's achievements have served as a source of pride and inspiration, not only for his fellow students, athletes, but also his entire Precinct 2 community and McLennan County.
Thank you.
Yep, exemplifying through the hard work, perseverance, passion, extraordinary accomplishments within the reach, and now therefore be it proclaimed that McLennan County Commissioners Court wishes to honor and proudly recognize Marco Cunningham for his exceptional achievements both on and off the track, celebrating his resilience, leadership, unwavering pursuit of excellence, and be further proclaimed that a copy of this proclamation be the permanent record in minutes of McLennan County Court.
Mr. Wilson hands the award or proclamation over to Betsy.
This is, means a lot to me, and you know, Paul Quinn, college was there on Rappaport Academy, and that means a lot to McLennan County Precinct 2. All right, so what do you think about going?
I'm headed to Johns Hopkins this fall.
Wow,
man.
congratulations,
Appreciate it.
fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
Best of luck to you.
You might be able to work on us then. Time you get out.
Wishing you the best of luck.
Work on me, but hurry.
Thank you so much, guys. Pleasure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming. Congratulations.
Congratulations on that.
Coach Ford from Riesel. Have you ever run around Riesel on the track meets up We did challenge him to a race, Ben. I told you, I'm ready to fight in a relay. I never the relay. You need to stand on the chair, Tracy. Sorry, Tracy.
It's okay. You need me later. It's right there. Perfect. Right.
Yes, we Good, how are you?
Y'all are welcome to stay, but it's probably a little boring.
Thanks so much.
Good job.
I just gotta learn how to read. You know, I did go to Mark, so.
I thought you did very well.
Hey, with a little perseverance, you can get through this.
That's embarrassing.
Hey, there's certain days. it
These
just
are big words, you know. I'm like a little word guy.
doesn't- It
you know?
doesn't connect. Certain days.
I'm
it
a
just
country
I think
boy.
if we could get you on a couple more committees, I think we can
No,
solve
yeah, you might
solve
figure,
this issue.
might get that good.
All right, thank you, Commissioner, for bringing that forward. It's always good to recognize
Yeah, that was good school
Young,
there.
People
young
that
people,
perform above.
you bet.
Okay,
John Hopkins, wow, that's impressive.
Medical school.
Yeah.
let's get back to the agenda, going to
Motion to
the consent agenda, recommended pull.
We need a motion to approve on the.
Yeah, thank you. Motion to approve that resolution, Commissioner
Yeah.
Wilson. All right, do I have a second?
Yes, sir.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. Okay. I'd like to go to, under the consent agenda, recommended pulls would be, it would be Ryan Durker's report.
E7.
Thank you. And so, with the exception of that one pull, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. All right, Ryan, if you could come forward and let's talk a little weather. So, I saw that there was a lot of lights out, on the Encore line, thousands of them out across the county, maybe 6,000 or whatever it was, maybe more than that.
Yes, sir.
Never
We
thought that.
can address that first before we move into the other thing.
Go
Again,
right
Judge
ahead.
Sheldon, Commissioners, good morning. As you all are aware, early on this morning, we had a relatively major storm pull through the county. We are working a number of, our county partners and other departments are working multiple power outages. Based on our data right now, we are tracking 14,367 customers without power this evening, representing roughly 11% of the county. The largest of those chunks are in Robinson, where there is straight line wind damage has caused several power lines to fall. Robinson's heavy work in that right now. Highway 77's closed, and they continue to try to get that back. We also received word that, I apologize, my mind's not working as well. Today started early this morning.
Yeah.
Out in McGregor, there was almost a full power outage. Moving back to Robinson, the schools are closed for today until they can get the power back on. ERCOT estimates 12:30 before power restoration, but again, that's just an estimate. A lot depends on what they will be able to do as far as how well the repairs go. But folks are out and they're working as hard as they can to get things back on.
Okay, and of course, this is an item that where we talk about burn ban and red flag warnings and all those kind of things. I think ours is expired, Reagan, is that right?
Yes, it's good for 90 days and it lasts like maybe 2 or 3 days.
Okay, so we just need to approve the renewal of that.
A red flag warning burn ban.
Yeah. So speaking of that, and Commissioner Smith visited with me a little bit this morning with expected high winds, even though there's moisture and things like that, do we need to take any action or have more?
Based on the current situation, I think we would recommend that red flag burn ban warning or that red flag burn ban be put into effect. Conditions right now overall, we don't feel necessitate a full burn ban, but as far as that red flag burn ban, we would recommend that at this time.
And describe what that means.
Right.
So a red flag warning generally means when there's a high fire danger, mostly due to winds. So as this system that caused the damage this morning moves out, there's a front following it where we're not out of the woods quite yet. There could be a situation later on today where we're facing 50-mile-an-hour plus straight line winds. And so, and on top of that today, specifically, the Texas Forest Service has a critical fire danger rating on us today. Now, that danger drops back to low tomorrow, but to address that today, we recommended if there was to be a red flag warning put in, which again would be the high fire danger due to winds, that a burn ban be put into effect by the Commissioners Court.
So you're recommending that?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's the pleasure of the court? Go ahead.
Yeah, a motion to approve the recommendation.
I'll second. Go right ahead.
Does that mean absolutely no one's can burn today? What does that mean exactly as far as enforcement?
Yes, sir. When there is a red flag warning in effect, there will be no burning.
Okay, do we need to post burn ban in effect signs today? Like, where we have them out in the county?
Yes, sir, I do believe so.
So those do need to be posted then?
I do think so, yes, sir.
And then it's on our website, and most of the volunteer fire departments monitor
There's
it.
a map on the county website, so whenever there's a red flag warning burn ban issued, it will indicate it on that map. So if anybody goes to the website, they can see that it's McLennan County's under a red flag warning.
Okay, well, those signs that we actually post on highway signs on the side of the road, on county roads, that's just for today then? We need to take them back down tomorrow? If we put them up today, do we need to take them back down tomorrow? Is that what we're saying, Ryan?
I need to get some more clarification on that. I can get you an answer on that relatively shortly.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, the signs?
But typically, to have them up for one day and down for a day is,
That's a lot of,
yeah, it's a lot. And, I think we have to yield to the website and
okay.
to our TV stations and things of that nature, because it's, as soon as your guy gets through taking them or putting them all.
Put them
back
up, it'd be
you gotta
time to take them back down this afternoon.
Then Reagan, you sent out a notice, like a press release.
I sent out a notification of a copy of the burn ban order to the news stations and
Yeah.
it's on our county website.
Okay.
And then I try to monitor some of the community Facebooks, and they're all pretty responsive about picking that up and putting it out there to their community, so I think I'd get it.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I appreciate the
Sir.
information.
Okay,
Commissioner Peter,
under,
I'm not seeing we had a second on that motion.
Did we not get a
We
second?
didn't get a second.
I'll second it.
I seconded.
Oh, he
it.
seconded
did
it. He
you?
did.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I seconded,
Yes, he did.
and it passed.
Thank you.
Okay, going to item M2, this is Linebarger's annual delinquent tax collection report for McLennan County. I asked Scott Work to come up.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Let's go.
This up real quickly. It's my pleasure to be here and give y'all a quick update on our delinquent tax collection efforts. As you know, Linebarger's had the delinquent tax collection contract with McLennan County for many years, a couple decades at least, and we're certainly very, very proud to represent the county, and it's definitely a privilege and honor to do so. Just briefly want to give a quick overview of our firm. Linebarger is a nationwide national law firm. We have over 49 offices in 39 different states. We can collect government collectibles in all 50 states. Currently, we collect on behalf of over 2,600 government entities. Firm-wide, we have over 120 attorneys and over 1,000 plus employees. A large number of those are in our call center in San Antonio. And overall, we collect more than $1 billion annually on behalf of government entities. McLennan County is represented by the Linebarger Northeast Texas team. You may know a number of those folks here, pictured here. Jim Lambeth is our capital managing partner. Wade Gent is our territory manager. And I am the attorney assigned to the Waco office. The Northeast Texas team, we have 11 attorneys and over 75 support staff across all of our Northeast Texas offices. Your particular office in Waco, we're staffed. Wade Jen, of course, is the territorial manager. I am the attorney that's here in this office. Waco is my home office. It's where I hang my diplomas, and it's where I spend most of my time. Also in the Waco office is Robbie Durden and Brittany King. Y'all probably know them as well. All 11 attorneys from the Northeast Texas group, and even those from Austin and San Antonio, Houston, whenever we need help, we've got more than enough people to get you covered. But Allison Wiley and Ron Capehart are in our Corsicana office, and they're more frequently coming over here to help me cover things. Just wanted to take a quick moment and go over and perhaps give you a little bit of a reminder of the tax year timeline. As you know, the tax year begins on January 1st. That's when the taxable value and ownership is established. In between January and July 25th, that's when property owners have an opportunity to contest their values, request a hearing before the Appraisal Review Board. But the appraisal roll is supposed to be certified by July 25th of each year. As you know, with the number of protests that are happening nowadays, though, those protests are going on later than July. So there's oftentimes supplemental rolls or corrected rolls even into September, October sometimes. In August and September, that's when you all and other taxing entities would adopt your budget and the tax rates. And then October 1st, that's when the tax bills go out. Technically, those tax bills are due upon receipt. However, the taxpayers have until January 31st of the following year to pay them on time without penalty and interest. On February 1, though, those taxes, if they're not paid, they go delinquent. And that's when interest begins to accrue. The April 1 is when business personal property taxes are turned over to Linebarger for collection, and it's in April that the attorney fee penalty is attached to business personal property delinquent taxes. But for real property delinquent taxes, those are not turned over to us until July 1. Little quirk in the law about when the attorney fee penalty attaches to a delinquent tax. So between February 1 and July 1, there's an interest that accrues that has to be paid by the taxpayer, delinquent taxpayer, but our attorney fees don't attach until July 1. There's another little quirk with that, however, if there's previous years that are delinquent, then our attorney fees do attach to the current year on February 1, as long as there's delinquent years prior to this one. All year long, we're conducting mailings. We'll talk about that here on the next slide. We're doing address and skip tracing research. We're making contact with taxpayers, not only through the mail, but also with phone calls and personal visits to businesses that are delinquent in their business personal property. Right there where it says negotiate payment, that can be misleading. We don't negotiate the amount of delinquent taxes that are due. We can't do that by statute. What we negotiate is the time frame per payment and the amount that they're going to be paying per month. We're also filing lawsuits year-round and then conducting sales and resales of struck-off properties. So for McLennan County, for the time period of this report, which is July 1, 2020 to February 15th of 2025, we have filed 452 lawsuits and disposed of 261. And on behalf of McLennan County, we've mailed 45,277 letters. We mail 6 times a year to the delinquent taxpayers. And the delinquent taxes collected, that number over there, 8.9 million, that number is a little bit different. That's from January 1, 2020 through December 31st, 2025. So just under $9 million collected in a 5-year period.
Scott?
Yes, sir.
If you subtract the lawsuits disposed from the lawsuits filed, that difference, are those still active lawsuits then?
That's a great question. So there may actually be more than that active, because those lawsuits disposed may have been ones disposed, or maybe ones that were filed prior to the date of this report.
Okay.
So we may have more than that on file. That's a great question.
Right at 9 million, that's net to us, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Collection
That
fees.
would be the delinquent taxes plus the interest, which is the amount that's owed to the county.
Yes.
Our attorney fees are not paid out of that number. Our attorney fees are actually, sometimes they're referred to a contingent fee. but it's not actually a contingent fee. A contingent fee would come out of that number.
Yeah.
Our fees are actually an add-on collection penalty that's paid by the delinquent taxpayer themselves. So our fees would be collected above and beyond that 8.9 million number.
Right. Okay.
Real quickly, wanted to point out the status of your accounts, and these are all the property types. You can see there the big red number. Those items in red are not collectible, with the caveat that there's a sliver up there on the top for bankruptcy. A portion, at least, in bankruptcy can be collected, and we'll talk about that here in a couple more slides about one delinquent taxpayer in particular. But the big red piece of the pie there, those are delinquent taxpayers who have opted to defer their taxes. And typically what that is someone who's over the age of 65 and has their property designated as their homestead. The legislature wanted them to be able to stay in their home after working for, pretty much their whole life, and felt like they deserved the right to stay in their home without being burdened by property taxes. So the interesting thing about that, though, is those property taxes remain on your roll as delinquent, but they cannot be collected.
Until the property's sold.
So there's three things that cause that property, the taxes to come current. And one is for the person to pass away, or both people to pass away. Two is to change their homestead designation by moving, or three is the sale of the property. So once one of those things happens, those taxes become due. The chief appraiser should know that, make the tax office aware of that. Actually, we're watching that all the time as well. But the tax collector is made aware of that. A bill is sent out, and the taxpayers or the taxpayer's estate has 180 days to pay that. If they don't pay it within those 180 days, that's when all of the interest and penalties become due, and then that's when we get involved in those. But 31% of your overall base tax roll, delinquent roll, is not currently collectible. Okay, so if we look at it without the deferrals in there, 42% of your delinquent tax accounts are in lawsuits. 18% are in what we call active collections. And actually, you could take that gray piece of the pie above that, which is under $500, 18.14%. Those are in active collections as well. We work the top of your roll, which is the highest owed amounts, but we're also frequently working the bottom of your roll. Sometimes the low-hanging fruit is easiest to collect. But just for information's sake, those that owe $500 or less, unless it's a large number of years, we're typically not going to file suit on those individuals. And the reason for that is those individuals may be struggling to take care of a $500 problem. If we file a lawsuit, then we add court cost and abstract fees on top of that. So we can take a $500 problem and make it a $1,000 problem. And if they owe for a number of years, we're probably going to go ahead and file suit. But we try really, really hard to work with those people on the bottom part of the roll that don't really owe a whole lot of money, through our mailing campaign and through phone calls.
And those will clear when the property transfers as well, right?
I'm sorry, Judge?
I said those will clear when the property trades at some point anyways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But eventually that 500 will move beyond that with interest.
Absolutely.
Penalty.
And when it does, then that's when we file suit. Yes, sir. Yep. About 14%, just under 15%, we have judgments on, and we're moving to collect on those judgments through tax sales or through payment agreements. And then that green sliver up at the top of the pie chart, those are return mails, and those are ones where we had an address that is not, that comes from the appraisal district or from the tax collector's office, and it's not a good address. And so at that point, that's when we rely upon our skip tracing folks and our research address folks, which is very, very robust. As I mentioned earlier, we have offices in 39 different states, and my firm is very, very good at finding people. Once there is a judgment, then as you know, we'll put a piece of property up for sale. Used to be on the courthouse steps. As you guys know, you just recently approved the move to online sales. We are working to make the first online sale happen April 1st. There's some stuff that we may not get done in time, so regardless, we're having a sale on April 1st. It may be on the courthouse steps, but we'll be moving to those online sales very quickly. For this reporting period, over 214 tracts have been posted for sale, and $1.66 million collected. That's not all $1.66 million to the county. That's across all taxing entities dealing with those properties. And so the county would receive its pro rata share of that amount. Finally, your top 20 delinquent accounts, like I said, we collect from the top and the bottom, but these are your top 20 delinquent accounts. A few things I want to point out. Your top delinquent account, Ali Yaqub, in the amount of $57,000, that case is now in judgment status. That property, however, may be difficult to sell. Not sure if you're familiar with this property, but this is an old gas station on Waco Drive. And recently, the buildings have been torn down, but there are underground storage tanks. And so this property is not your typical property that you can put up for sale. So we're going to be working to figure that one out. But chances are that when and if that property is put up for sale, it's most likely going to result in a struck-off situation. And then we're going to be in a resale position. And it's not likely, honestly, that we're going to get the full amount due. Your second most delinquent taxpayer is W.H. Littles and Sons, and that is a funeral home. So that's for business personal property. They're currently in bankruptcy. That case is just about to close, however. And as I mentioned earlier, sometimes we can collect the full amount in a bankruptcy case. This is not one of those cases. Out of all of the years that they're delinquent, coming to 51,000, the bankruptcy trustee is going to be able to come up with about 2 years of those delinquent taxes. So unfortunately, again, that's going to be one that's difficult to collect the full amount. You'll notice for the rest that they're either in suit, bankruptcy, or in a deferral status. And so we're working hard to collect, like I said, the top of your delinquent accounts, but we're also always working to collect from the bottom up. We work the top, the bottom, and the middle, looking to maximize and collect every dollar that we can on behalf of the county. So thank you for your time this morning, and open it up to any questions if you have any.
Any questions anyone have?
No, sir. Good.
Just appreciate the relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys, and as I said, y'all are very important to us, and we're proud of the way that we structure ourselves because we're a big firm. So we're big enough to give you all the assets that you need, but we're also a local firm, and we're here to give you the local attention that you need and deserve. So thank you all very much.
We appreciate it. Thanks,
Thank
Scott.
you, sir. Scott, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, is there a motion to approve this report for recording purposes? All right, have a motion. Is there a second? Motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. I'd like to drop to item K2.
Which one, sir?
K2.
Okay.
This is regarding the FY 2026-2027 Office of Attorney General, OAG Victim Coordinator and Liaison Grant Program. I'd like to call Josh Stevens, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is just a standard renewal of our grant, but I like to take it as an opportunity to highlight our victim assistance coordinators, otherwise known as our VACs. We have 5 of those ladies in our office that handle everything from grieving families to upset business owners trying to collect for damages done to their property. They are far, far overworked, but this grant helps them get compensated at least a little bit. So we, of course, encourage passage of that. But to give you an idea of how much they work and the cases they're involved in, just for felonies alone, for example, we're indicting upwards of 150 new felony cases every 2 weeks. And those are disseminated among 3 different VACs that have to handle all of those. That's everything, again, from your horrible kid cases all the way down to your property crimes. So just want you guys to be aware they're working hard and doing good work, and I wanted them to all come in here and get a pat on the back, but they're busy talking to victims right now.
Amen.
So
Well, we'll send them a virtual pat on the back.
there we go.
Okay, any questions? Well, and I've watched them work. I appreciate what they do. They put a lot of thought and compassion in how they deal with folks with all different kind of issues, and I think it's important that we have a robust force to deal with that. So,
Sir.
yeah, these are our people out there, and we need to take care of them. All right, anything else? If not, what's the pleasure of the court on this grant approval?
Move to approve the victim coordinator and liaison grant application.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Dustin, are you aware if Dr. Kumar is online or coming?
I do not see him online, Judge. I know we've got Kathy Holloman if we want to knock out a couple of GovEase items, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead and take it on.
We can go to item G2, authorization of agreement with Gila LLC, doing business as Municipal Services Bureau. This is for payment processing services for the online auction portal for the tax office. As the court remembers and discussed earlier, that we approved the agreement with GovEase Auctions for that online portal for the tax office, those cells. GovEase utilizes Municipal Services Bureau as its vendor to provide for those online payment solutions. So Kathy, is there anything you'd like to add on this one?
They're a service like certified payments, which we use. And so this is just their agreement. Mike Dixon reviewed it. They did accommodate us by making a couple of changes to fit the language we wanted. That's about it.
Okay, and when will this start? The first auction will be?
I believe it's April, the first Tuesday in April.
Okay, first Tuesday, April, right.
Yes.
Okay, well, if you would keep the court informed on how how y'all think it's working. If there's like anything new, sometimes we have to make a few tweaks here and there, and just keep the court apprised about what's going on, how it's working. We think it sounds like a good modern approach to deal with these properties, and but if we can help in any way, let us know. But if you would keep us informed.
We will. And as you know, after the meeting that you were participating in with the other participants in the process, we decided to go with wire receipts rather than ACH, and that should speed up the time frame in which we would receive the proceeds.
Yeah, I like that.
Does this agreement have a date, like beginning date, ending date, or is it perpetuity, or is it renewed every year?
I believe the beginning date, it's going to be when the judge signs it and they sign it, and then it would be as long as we're doing business with GovEase.
But Dustin, do you have it? You looking at it?
I'm looking at it right now, just to see if there is a specific term. Yeah, there's no other specific termination listed, so it would be as Kathy described.
So,
Just as long as we're utilizing.
yeah, that's probably a little open-ended, but I just wonder, do we have like an annual reporting or something like that? The court needs to know that it's working right and that the vendor actually maybe makes a presentation on an annual basis or something, and we can approve it for recording purposes, or needs to be something coming to the court so we know it's working.
I think it was part of our discussion was that we would look at this and make a determination whether we wanted to continue with it if it was
Right.
working like we wanted it to, like the tax office wants it to. So is that a renewable yearly, or is there a 30-day out if we choose not to
I think there is an out.
continue? If there's an out, then you're all right.
Yeah,
Can't imagine Mike not
yeah.
catching that.
Well, this is just for the collection of the proceeds from the folks who win the auctions. This particular contract, the Govies contract, there is an out on that.
Okay, that's the G5.
Yeah.
That's under the G5.
This is just a collection deal.
This is just,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, this is collection, then G5 is the actual contract.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Correct.
Thank you, Kathy.
All right.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the agreement?
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
And then G5 is regarding the agreement with Govey's auction, authorization of amendment for the online auction portal for the tax office. And Kathy can correct me if I'm wrong or add whatever she'd like to, but these changes were selected or included in notes, I guess, in the original agreement. So this just formalizes those changes to that original contract, and it affects the fees and billing, then also the fee table. So Kathy, is there anything you'd like to add?
There was a mistake in the original one saying that the payment would be made to the collection attorneys rather than the treasurer's office, and so that's a correction that's being made.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the original contract, which mirrored what they do in Denton County Sheriff's Office, the fee was going to include fees for properties advertised by Govies, but then pulled and not actually auctioned. And so this change makes it so that because we can't be charged, it has to be charged, come out of the sale proceeds. This is changing it so that we're not charged for properties advertised and not auctioned.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. Any other questions? No. All right. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the amendments?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
All right, Judge, you want me to move back up to the top of the agenda?
Yes, unless you heard from Dr. Kamar.
No, sir, and I do not see him online either. Do you want to go ahead and do that item?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't say it's our annual renewal, so go ahead and go over it.
Let me jump down to it real quick.
That's I2E.
And so this is the Waco Metropolitan Planning Organization authorization of annual contribution dues. They sent their annual contribution request totaling $20,000. These funds are used by the MPO mostly for the local match requirements on federal grants. I believe this is either the second or third year we have done this, so it is recommended for approval.
Yeah, I think second, but any questions or comments? Not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the contribution request of $20,000 to the MPO?
Second.
All right, we have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, moving up to item F, bids, RFPs, RFQs. F1 is authorization of recommendations. F1A is regarding RFP 25-006, scan in McLennan County archive files. Ken?
Yes, on this particular RFP, we received responses from Excella Technologies, Mercurius Inc., Global Solutions Group Inc., and MEI Mail Services. We had a evaluation team of myself, John Carter, Claire McDaniels, and Tim Kubos. We recommend that McLennan County grant the award for the scanning of McLennan County archive files to Excella Technologies. They were the best evaluated proposal with an average score of 97 points.
Okay. That's a pretty good difference between that one and the next place. So any questions?
Is this who we've used in the past?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Any questions or comments? If not, is there a motion to approve this
So moved.
contract? All right, we have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
F1B is regarding bid 25-004, aggregated surface treatment. Ken?
Yes, on this particular bid, we received responses from Texas Materials Group and Green Dream International. But looking back at past bids, realized that we had received a greater number of responses on that. And so we're going to request that the court reject all bids, and then we'll go back out for bid, which actually you've already approved the advertisement to go back out on the aggregates.
Okay, any questions?
Make a motion to approve the recommendation of our purchasing director, Ken Bass, to reject all bids.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
F1C is regarding bid 25-005, asphalt emulsions. Ken?
In keeping with the new way of doing things on this particular bid, we received responses from Ergon Asphalt Emulsions and P-Squared Emulsion Plants. Looking back over the last few years, these are the main two companies. As a matter of fact, they're the only companies we've used in the last 2 or 3 years on asphalt emulsions. So I recommend that we award to Ergon Asphalt Emulsions and P-Squared Emulsions as the recommendation is written. Contract term would be March 4th, 2025 through February 28th of 2026.
Any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve awarding the bid to all responding bidders based on location and availability. Is that correct, Ken?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's my motion.
I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
F2 is authorization of revised information regarding the renewal for bid 23-007, printed envelopes and letterhead for various McLennan County departments with Furman business forms. Ken?
Yes, we talked to Trigger, and he's willing to extend our agreement with him, same pricing. And with the renewal, this would be from March 1, 2025 through February 28, 2026.
So we're actually clarifying the renewal dates then, because we'd already voted to renew. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Right, that's correct.
okay. Motion, Judge, to approve the clarification of renewal dates with Furman.
All right. Any, I'll second. Any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Under item G, contracts interlocal agreements, G1 is authorization of road use agreement with PP Jaguar Solar LLC. And Judge, I believe this probably just needs to be pulled with no action at this time.
All right, is there a motion to pull with no action?
Yeah, I would pull that with no action.
And Judge, we don't need a motion, we can just
Yeah,
mark it as such.
You're right, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, moving down to item G3, authorization of contract for services with Greater Waco Collective Impact Initiative, doing business as Prosper Waco. If we could defer this again.
I'll make a motion, we defer.
Second.
Have a motion second, any discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G4 is authorization of technical support, remote support agreement with BIS Digital. for interview room and observation area at the sheriff's office. Major Ives?
This is a support agreement for our interview room. We had this year gone through and upgraded that from the VHS system to a digital system, and this is the support agreement to support those new digital items in that those interview rooms that we have.
Okay, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
Moving down to item G6, authorization of support and maintenance agreement with Excella Technologies for document imaging software for the sheriff's office. Major Ives?
This is our current scanning software for records, HOV services, Excella Technologies, same company. This is going up just slightly. It's a little bit less than $100 per year is the increase on this scanning contract.
Okay, any questions? I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Motion made and second, any discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
G7 is authorization of renewal agreement with Core EMR for electronic medical record software and license for McLennan County Jail. Ken, did you want to cover this one?
Oh, I can. We contacted Major Ives and Core EMR, and both parties would like to extend this agreement for additional year at the current rate of $1.25 per inmate per month. That we're roughly seeing 1,340 inmates total at both facilities. If approved, the new term will be from 2/22/25 through 2/21/26.
Make a
Okay, any
motion to renew
questions?
agreement.
Who all can access these medical records, or maybe Major Ives would?
Yeah, David.
Sure. That's going to be our medical department, and our medical contractor are the people who primarily access that. I can access things to pull like general reports, but all the secure medical records, electronic medical records are just our medical department.
So if an individual leaves and then comes back in, you've got the records from the previous time they were incarcerated?
Correct. Technically, we have the records from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If an individual left and came back, it's very useful to be able to track that electronically, run reports, see over time how that changes and affects our overall, not just the health and care of our inmates, but our budget as well.
Okay.
So we conform to HIPAA with all this?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we can share it with another, like a hospital or whatever, someone's, if there's any pertinent information in there.
Our medical staff pulls those records upon request from an authorized medical entity frequently. That is done frequently for continuity care.
Yeah, great, thank you. All right, if there's no other questions, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
G8 is authorization of Tawakona Creek Watershed Supplemental Watershed Plan Agreement Number 8. Zane?
Yes, sir. So this is the Tawakona Creek Dam number 21. That's we've had a couple of public meetings on already, and it's a full rehabilitation project. The NRCS had hired a consultant to help with the planning of the rehabilitation of this project, and so they have completed their contract with NRCS, and the plan is to remove the auxiliary spillway and build a concrete spillway over the top of the dam. The cost to all of the sponsors, and there's a number of sponsors, different counties, watershed authorities, so on, would be around $5.1 million. However, the Texas State Soil and Water Conservation Board, the rules have changed recently, and so now that they anticipate being able to provide us grant money for the full amount, somewhere between 95%, but most likely the full 100% of sponsors' portion. What this document is before you is just a signing of the agreement saying we agree to the plan, which is to build the concrete spillway over the top of the dam. And that would, once all of the different sponsors sign the document, Then it will go back to the NRCS, and they will start designing and making construction plans, and that'll take at least a year, if not longer. And then at that time, the NRCS will reach back out to all of the sponsors and see if they want to move forward with the actual construction. So this document before you does not obligate the county financially. It's just agreeing to the plan to rehabilitate Twakanna Creek Dam number 21 per the draft plan, which can be found on the engineer's website. I'll be happy to answer any questions. It's recommended for approval.
Okay. And
That 21, is that there in Axtell?
84.
84 in Axtell, right?
It's a little north of there, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Hurst Road, isn't it? Is it
That's
Hurst?
correct.
Hurst Road.
That's on the McCollum property.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Any other questions? Okay, I'll make a motion we approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Under item H, capital improvement and construction projects, H1s regarding Chapel Road improvements, agreement with Casparian Underground doing business as H&B contractors. There's two items here. H1A is authorization of change order number 4, and H1B is authorization of application for payment number 12. Zane?
Yes, sir. So this is a Chapel Road project, and change order number 4 has to do only with the water line portion. In the city of Waco, it would be reducing their contingency amount. So the county county portion would not be out any money. The total cost for Waco's contingency reduction would be $19,850. And that's to make repairs for water line near Ritchie Road. 24-inch, they were installing the 24-inch water line and kind of got into an existing unmarked 2-inch water line. So they have some repairs there. There will be no additional days added to the overall construction schedule. And this change order number 4 is recommended for approval. Payment number, item number H1B is just the next monthly payment invoice, if you will, for payment number 12, totaling $1,025,925.95. And that pay application has been reviewed and is recommended for approval. So and approvals for H1A and H1B.
All right, any questions? And the project's still on schedule?
Yes, sir.
Good.
And just for those that aren't aware, if the weather holds, it looks like we're 2 weeks away from being able to go back out on towards Ritchie Road.
Oh, good.
Good.
So, and Zane, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
So hopefully that.
Yeah. Okay, what's the pleasure of the court on these two?
Motion to approve H1A and H1B.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, item H2 is regarding the Justice of the Peace Precinct 5 Office Edition, fee proposal from CP&Y doing business as STV. Authorization of professional services invoices. There's 3 invoices here. I'll read those in, then Ken or TJ, if y'all want to add anything. H2A is regarding November 2024 invoice totaling $8,466.20. H2B is the December 2024 invoice totaling $8,536.30. And H2C is invoice for January 2025 totaling $225.48. So Ken, anything to add?
No, sir.
Okay, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Move to approve H2A, H2B, and H2C.
All right, I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Right, under item I, budget amendments, I1's the FY24 budget. I know there's nothing for court this week, so moving on to I2 regarding the FY25 budget. Francis?
Thank you. So starting with I2A, this is a certification of revenue and related budget amendment for a donation that was received from Signery Cybersecurity. The intent of it was to support a cyber challenge coin initiative with the IT office. And so this is a certification of that revenue in the amount of $2,650, and then setting up a related budget if you approve of that to supplies within a special fund that will hold that donated amount. I-2B, this is Fund 141, the Justice Court Support Fund. So this is a special revenue fund to be utilized for cost related to the JP offices. And so this is just a request to utilize funds within that special revenue fund for JP2, specifically to replace a printer within that office. I2C, this is Fund 421, our 2021 bond proceeds. This is a budget amendment to cover the cost related to the downtown jail conversion project, additional cost for fiber line work to be done by Solid IT Networks, as well as A&A Technology Group. And then I2D, this is multiple permanent improvement funds, but this is to cover the GMP1 for the downtown jail conversion project. So this sets up the budget for that first phase. And if you'll look through those lines, we are utilizing Fund 401 for a little over $9 million, and we discussed that this summer during budget workshops. And then we're just moving down through the bonds to use those up in order. So you'll see we're using 2021 and 2022 proceeds. And that concludes the four budget amendments for 2025.
Okay, any questions on those?
Under I2C, because I was just kind of curious, are we still using, Ken, we still have a lot of people using fax machines as opposed to scanning stuff in and attaching it and sending it email?
Well, fax machines are on analog lines and not, using rest. I call them POTS lines. And so we are. And believe it or not, there are still some companies out there that we communicate with through the fax machines. Purchasing is.
Okay. Do we have a listing of all of our fax numbers, and do we have do we know that they're all being utilized? And if not, can we get rid of some of them?
We'll have to go through and take a look.
I was just curious, because I know there's some that we've eliminated, and myself in our precinct, that we weren't using, so.
And we've actually tried to eliminate ours. As a matter of fact, our actual fax machine we had, we added a fax module to our copier.
Yeah.
And so we have that where we actually don't have an old fax machine anymore.
Right.
It's just.
I'd be curious to know if they're all being utilized, and if not, eliminate, save that monthly cost. So.
We were kind of going through that when we were making this right here,
Okay.
making these changes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve those items that Francis just reviewed with us?
Motion to approve I2A through I2D.
D, yeah. All right, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
All right, moving on to item J. Under J1, we can pull this one with no action. We needed to correct the address, and so that's actually on the supplemental agenda. So moving on to item, sorry, Judge, go ahead.
Well, I'll just pull with no action.
And moving on to item K, grant proposals. K1 is our ARPA discussion. K1A is regarding the professional consulting contract addendums with LAN, authorization of professional services invoice. This invoice totals $3,080.91, and it is for their engineering monitoring services through February 14th. It has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
Okay, and just point out, it says John Ray, project manager. It's actually Tom Ray. In the script there, but I would make a motion we approve that.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, moving down to item K3 regarding the Office of the Governor, Public Safety Office, Operation Lone Star Grant Program, authorization of submission of FY26 grant application and related grant resolution, disaster declaration documents, memorandums of understanding, or interlocal agreements. I like to call them major IVs.
Gentlemen, we're asking to apply for the Operation Lone Star grant opportunity through the state of Texas to help address the financial burden associated with the housing of inmates with immigration detainers in McLennan County. There's a couple steps that Dustin went over right there. I believe you have a short letter in your packet. It'll include the declaration of local disaster memorandum of understandings and the submission of the grant application and associated documents. If y'all have questions about that in particular, I'd be more than happy to answer any.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions, David, but to kind of support the application of the grant, can you give us like a ballpark figure of the number of detainees that we average in jail here that are costing us money?
Sure, and let me give you just a snapshot first, Commissioner.
That's fine.
Currently, we have, as of right now, 85 inmates in custody with immigration detainers who also face state charges. They are not federal inmates, so to speak, as part of the federal contract. This is not a historical view. This is what is going on today.
Right.
The financial impact of those individuals and the housing fees that they have accumulated over their stay is far exceeds $1.5 million in taxpayer funds. That includes things like housing, food, medical care, administrative resources. What it doesn't include is it doesn't include some of the costs that taxpayers, the burden placed on the taxpayers for, district attorney, prosecutor, indigent defense, court time, special programs. So there's quite a few other costs that are associated. We're just looking at the cost from our side. The cost to the county taxpayer overall is going to be far greater. And applying for this grant will help or going through this process will help open up some funding to help the local taxpayers subsidize that cost that they're now having to pay at 100%.
Right. So, cost, supervision, and the fact that we're housing them. So those numbers certainly support a need to reach out and grab as much of that money as we can. So my motion would be to approve the application of the grant under the Operation Lone Star Grant Program.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion, second, any other discussion? Other discussion?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How much money are you thinking about getting there, Major, that you can get from this grant?
So there's some future implications on that, Commissioner, as well.
Right.
We're talking to the Dustin and the state briefly. Of course, nothing is solidified about additional money from SCAP, if that's even possible. I believe we get around $80,000 a year. Dustin can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That's right, David.
Yeah, for the SCAP grant. So that doesn't really even graze the surface of the cost of local taxpayers. So initially, we're trying to just get in with the program and complete some of this paperwork, Commissioner, some of that being the Declaration of Local Disaster Memorandum of Understanding and associated documents that we need for the application of the grant. But we're looking generally in this first run right around $120,000 or so.
And so the hope is that the legislature sees that need to add money to that, so we'd be lined up and ready to go when that happens.
Sure, and your times 254 counties, you can imagine the issues that come across state of Texas.
Do I need to amend my motion to include the disaster declaration, documents, memorandums of understanding, interlocal agreements, or whatever else might go with it to make sure that's included, or was
Yes, if you don't mind, Commissioner, that would be great.
Okay, I would amend my motion to include not only the application for the Operation Lone Star Grant Program, but also the submission of related grant resolution, disaster declaration documents, and memorandums of understanding or interlocal agreements that would be needed with the application.
Would the second amend their second to that?
Second.
All right. So the motion is amended and the second is agreeing with the amendment. So no other questions. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, moving on to item L, Department Office Specific Request. L1 is McLennan County Community Supervision and Corrections Department, Adult Probation, approval Order accepting certain property donated by Community Supervision and Corrections Department and declaring that property as waste and authorizing the disposal of said waste property. Ken?
Yes, because these are items that were not purchased with county funds. They need to transfer them to the county before that we can send them through an auction. And so this is their list of items that they're wanting to transfer to the county to allow me to send through the auction to get rid of.
Okay, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
L2 is Constable Precinct 5, discussion and or action regarding vehicle asset transfer and related repair estimate. Not sure if Constable Cantu is available, but Ken, I didn't know if you want to present, then I know Captain Nixon can help with this item as well if needed.
Yes, sir. And oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, before we get into this too far, when we can discuss it, that's fine, but I want to defer this item until it can be looked at a little more closely. There's a lot of cost involved here on a vehicle that's got 160,000 miles on it already, and I want to look at the pros and cons a little more closely, and I've got some questions I want answered.
Oh, sure. And I'll just share, when I do paperwork like this, I'm just trying to keep the paperwork straight. And so I'm sharing to the court the request being made by Freddie Cantu and trying to clarify by the paper. I will share with this right here, they have taken the Crown Vic that was given to them and have returned that to the yard, to the sheriff's department. So I'll just make that statement right there, and I'll leave the rest alone if that is your request.
And just, Captain Nixon will add a little bit more, and then we can still defer, but just listen to it.
Yes, sir. Good morning. In reference to the Crown Vic, since the constable's office took that vehicle, they've averaged about 60 miles a month on that vehicle. Some of the issues they're talking about are motor not running well. Well, we drove it, we checked it out, and that is because basically it's sitting too long. It's not getting driven enough. The ethanol we have in our fuel these days goes bad rather quickly, and when you're averaging 60 miles a month, you don't burn a tank very quickly. We did find that they also complained about the front end being loose. It does need some tie rods. That estimate to repair that vehicle would be about $750 to get that vehicle where it's driving a little better. The vehicle they're looking at was one we are preparing for our next auction. It is a Tahoe that has in excess of 150,000 miles on it, and it does need a transmission in it, which is going to be close to $6,000. So I don't recommend putting a $6,000 transmission in a vehicle with that high mileage because we don't know what's going to go out next on it. So.
Is there any other information you need?
I don't need any other information. I reached out and gathered information on the Crown Vic, the number of times it's been in for repairs, which is 0. The fact that, like you're saying, it's running about 55, 60 miles a month is all that it's being used for. Been less than $200 worth of gas requested for it in 2 years on that Crown Vic. So it wasn't getting used, and I have a hard time with the idea of $6,000 into a vehicle that's got 160,000 miles on it.
Do we have any kind of pool car that if somebody needed something like this, they could go and get somewhere that, it's been used, on a daily basis off and on?
Right. We really don't have a pool car that's countywide.
Yeah, and also, does it need certain equipment if it's for law enforcement? It needs a cage or something like that?
And honestly, if we could repair the front end on this Crown Vic and they would drive it more, even if that means, daily driving it to lunch or whatever we need. Because I realize they need it to transport people from the JP court to jail when they have that come up. Right. But it just needs to be driven more.
Well, I guess my question is, if they've sent it back to you, and obviously the court is still in business and still doing business, so what's being used right now if they don't have?
I can't answer that, Commissioner.
Okay.
Well, they all have vehicles. I mean, every constable.
So
personal
Deputy.
vehicles.
Does it require a
It's
cage?
personal, though,
Does it
and
require a
some of
They
cage
don't
with
want
a
to
hood of
put,
attachment?
they don't want to put the,
Like truancies? Do they have to?
The units that we provided them do have a cage now. That's an officer safety issue.
And that, going back several years ago, Commissioner Perry may recall, but the issue, they were driving personal vehicles and we were reimbursing them for miles and all those. But there were certain reasons that they needed a vehicle that you could, if there was an arrest made or whatever, that it would have the proper safety things put in it, the cage and all that. And they didn't want to put that in their own vehicles.
I understand
And,
that.
yeah, and the liability and all that. But it looks like to me, they could also call patrol and get them to pick that individual up. I don't know, I agree with you, we need to discuss it. Another thing that I brought up before is, and, you know, maybe Ken and Francis and Dustin and a couple of people get together and analyze using these high mileage cars for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if they has to be a dependable, quick response on a law enforcement person, it's different than somebody in my office needs to run down and get the mail or something. And so we can look at a pool vehicle or a very reasonably priced newer car with a warranty and all those things. Now, there again, if you figure 60 miles a month, that, I don't know, that it seems like we keep coming back to the same deal, trying to fix stuff up. It's,
I agree.
do all constables use their, not all constables use their personal vehicles, do they?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Precinct one's
It's got a blend.
Blend.
Yeah, it's a blend.
Seems like to me each constable probably need one good unit for this purpose that was driven every day. You know, that, especially like JP5 and some of the smaller constables.
I think that's where the issue is in those smaller.
Yeah.
And it was my understanding in the beginning when we issued the Crown Vic or transferred it to them, that it was going to be for a temporary until they were going to put something in for budget request, but that never happened.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Well, you know, you talk about $6,000 to repair a 160,000 mile unit or $700 to repair a unit that we've already got in use and that we can make do with. Just makes more sense to me to go that way. And like the judge is saying, we're pouring a lot of money into high dollar vehicles. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. And moving them over to other departments to where then it comes back to us when they need to be repaired.
Yeah, yeah.
That's something we need to look at.
What was the cost you said to repair the Crown Vic?
$750.
$750?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't even think this is really a conversation then, because I'd put $750 in it and let them.
So put $750 in it and defer this until they come back.
Right, to a budget.
If they need assistance during that budget process on getting quotes and stuff like that, and, you know, we can help them with that.
Okay.
We're familiar with that process.
I do have a question myself, if I may. I know that all this gasoline that we get that has the alcohol in it, it goes bad, like you say,
Very
rather
quickly.
fast. But I noticed at the pumps, a lot of pumps now have regular gas without the,
Non-ethanol.
right. And so I'm just wondering if that's a change that could be made that would
It
help
could
that
be
out.
made, I think, on a case-by-case basis. We use that in our small equipment at MOE and around the county. It's higher per gallon.
Yes, sir.
But in a case-by-case basis, I think that would be a smart thing to do on a vehicle that's not getting driven off.
Just something I wanted to point out. I mean, so.
Yeah,
Point.
That's what I use on my lawnmowers.
yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Same thing. You know, those two things we visit every year. The other thing is, okay, moving these cars around and then our contracts on copy machines. You know, even though some of them may be under elected officials, we're the ones that pay the bills or the taxpayer does. And is there a better way to handle all these type things? Is there, the way we're doing it may be the only way to do it. But I think we ought to put a little thought into it. We may ask you to reach out to you for a little help on those kind of things too.
So then what needs to happen today?
Defer.
Defer?
And he doesn't need any action from the court to put
I mean,
$700.
if they wanted to come back and get the Crown Vic and they've got money in their budget for that $700, they could go ahead and do that on their own, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Okay. My motion be to defer, this request.
Second.
Well, so defer it or deny it?
I guess we deny it now, yeah, deny it now, and then if something comes back up, it's up,
I would recommend a motion to deny the request.
deny, okay, so move.
And the second.
All right, motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, under item M, additional items, M1, we have on the agenda in case anyone would like to discuss any legislative matters. If not, we can move on to item M3, and I'm going to share my screen.
Let me say one thing on legislative matters that I'm working towards. Y'all may recall the court approved a resolution supporting the creation of a Central Texas Water Alliance. It's primarily led by McLennan and Bell County. And then the city of Waco has done the same resolution, but it's bringing water into Central Texas out over and above what water we already have. We think it's very important. And so what I'm going to start working towards is getting the other communities, and McGregor said they would do it, talk to the other municipalities in the county to get resolutions for those, and then any kind of water district that we send in there, because this thing, it's going to take a while, but yet we need to, I can't think of why anybody would be against it to at least get the legislation to bring the water in here. Now, they may be against what it costs, but we can't even get to that point until we get the approval for the creation. So that's just an update, no action needed. All right, Dustin, go ahead.
All right, so M3 is discussion and/or action on establishing parking rules for the courthouse parking lot pursuant to Local Government Code Chapter 615. As we had discussed back at the retreat, the main courthouse parking lot across the street from the courthouse was getting a lot of use by people frequenting businesses along Austin and 6th Street. And so the sheriff's office has been helping to enforce that the past few weeks, and it has helped, but we have been discussing actually having courthouse complex parking rules for the area. So we've worked with Mike and with the sheriff's office to come up with these rules. And so essentially you'll see on your screen, these two green parking lots will be designated as our courthouse complex parking lots. And in these lots, only authorized persons can park during the designated hours. That means jurors, parties to cases, county, district or precinct employees or officials, and persons conducting official county business at the courthouse complex. And those designated hours are 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, exclusive of county holidays. And just essentially, when this back lot, the old bank parking lot along Austin, became paid parking, we were getting more and more people and forcing jurors to utilize that paid parking or parking elsewhere. So we're just trying to do our best to keep our lots to county business only. So that's what's before you for consideration. It's been reviewed and is recommended for approval. And at this time, we will not tow, but should there continue to be an issue with the parking problem, then the court will be able to consider enacting towing regulations as well.
All right, any questions?
Will the jurors that get picked, will they get a little pass to put in the window or something? Or how do you?
No, sir. It's still just essentially it's just to kind of deter those individuals at the businesses from parking. They're haven't talked about a actual like a pass system or anything, but they're free to park there. But the sheriff's office will be making rounds through the lot, just trying to help minimize those businesses. And we've sent communications to the Liberty Building and then to the co-working space across the street and all the businesses on the block, letting them know that this was coming and that it's going to be enforced as well. And so all that coupled with the sheriff's office, them patrolling has helped the issue somewhat.
So it would allow more room for jurors to park on our existing lots.
Yes, sir.
Is the idea. That's where we're starting, We may have to change and get stronger on it, but all right. If there's not any questions, is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
M4 is order granting exemption from competitive bidding to Syntex Fire and Security for fire alarm systems. Ken?
Over the last few years, we've had quite a bit of trouble at the jail on our fire alarm system, having major repairs. And, you know, we've tried to use other entities for that, and it hasn't been working out well. And it's kind of, I've considered this along the same lines as we did an exemption for Sedaptic. So just, I'm requesting to the court exempting Syntex Fire and Security from bidding to work on the fire alarm system at the jail is what this amounts to. And that's under section 262.024A11 and section 262.024A2.
All right, any questions?
And Ken, you'll monitor costs to determine if their costs are reasonable based on the fact that we're giving them exclusive rights?
We will. I'll throw TJ into that mix as well.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
M5 is approval of order for sole source designation and granting exemptions from bidding with Arcosa Aggregates for a Type L Grade 4 and Type L Grade 5 lightweight aggregate from McLennan County Road and Bridge Departments. Ken?
The lightweight aggregate, we've looked. There's only one source. Now, the source has changed hands several times over the years, but there's still only one source of lightweight aggregate anywhere in our vicinity, excuse me. And so I'm requesting, and we've done this every year, but just creating a designation, sole source designation for Arcosa for the lightweight aggregate.
Okay, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
If we could hold those items under M6 for a minute and drop down to item N, Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project. N1 is authorization of professional services invoice with STV for the Records Building ADA renovations for December and January, invoice number 19. This invoice totals $918.50. It's been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
All right, any questions? If not, I'll make a motion we approve.
Second.
Motion made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Under item O, McLennan County Downtown Jail Remodel Project. Under item O1, this is the construction manager at risk agreement with John Irwin. We have nothing this week. Under O2, authorization of revised professional services agreement and related construction materials testing proposal with Langerman Engineering. This is for the downtown jail remodel proposal. TJ?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So court may recall we approved the material testing a couple of weeks back. Well, due to some code requirements, the city has requested some additional fireproofing on the structural steel. So that leads us to go back and have that material tested after the install. So this is the revision to that proposal.
Okay.
Did you say the city requested it?
Yes.
Yes, sir. It's a code requirement.
Okay, they didn't offer to pay for it?
No, no, sir.
Okay, just checking. All right.
Very good question.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Right, we can move down to the supplemental agenda under item B, real estate, right-of-way and easements. B1 is authorization of commercial contract on improved property. This is a building located at 2124 North 25th Street. So this is a commercial contract for the purchase of this property from Community Bank and Trust. Purchase price of the property is $425,000. It is about a 7,500 square foot building that we think would be very beneficial for the county to look at the possible relocation of the auditor's office and also health services. Health services area, if you look at about a 2-mile radius in those zip codes, a large portion of the health services clients reside in that area. And if you expand that out to about a 4-mile radius, you pick up about 45 to 50% of those clients. Think it would be a good fit for the county. We'll have a 90-day due diligence period to work through. There will be a 4% realtor fee that the county is responsible for. So this contract has been reviewed, recommended for approval, and TJ, Ken, and I are happy to answer any questions you might have.
Y'all recall the asking price was, what was it,
$525.
Who was our main negotiator on that?
Did some good negotiations.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Modestly, it was me.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
Yeah,
Second.
yes. I think that's gonna
Motion
be.
and second.
Yeah, it's gonna be going.
And Community Bank was very reasonable when I explained to them what we're going to use the facility for. And so appreciate their cooperation on that. So we have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
And Judge Chris is on her way. We have her 3 items, and then she'd also like to go into an executive session.
Okay. So nothing else besides that? Is that true?
That should be all the action items, if we can just confirm.
Yes.
All right. I'd like to recess for 10 minutes.
Progress.
All right, let's call court back into session. All right, Dustin.
Yes, sir. All right. If we can go to item M6, there's 3 items here for the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce. I'll read them all in. M6A is the monthly economic development report for January 2025. M6B is the In Waco Digital Talent Recruitment Campaign quarterly services report for July through September 2024. Then M6C is the In Waco report for October to December 2024. Chris?
So we'll start with the In Waco reports first, if that's okay. I have before you the start for, the third quarter and fourth quarter for this fiscal year. So we have with us a really good activity that we've seen. I'll just do a summary of 2024 results so far. So we had, for the In Waco campaign, we had 54,608 views by 30,483 unique users. So that means that you had a large group of people that came, and then of those, a large number of them came back multiple times. With that, you had a 19,420 impressions through organic Google searches. So that was somebody just naturally goes onto Google and is doing something in Waco and it pops up. And with that, you had a 3.8% click-through rate, which is really good because the average is significantly lower than that. The industry average is less than 2% on click-through rates. With paid searches, so we place things in a number of different ways. There's the organic search that comes up naturally as people are searching for things. There's a paid search, so if you might go in and do a search for something, and you'll notice that there are paid ads before you get into other items that come up. So we do some paid searches for that. With that, we had 197,000 impressions for 2024 with a 12% click-through rate. So we saw really good results that came through that. We also did a thing called Connect TV, which was if you they're basically television ads. So if you're watching YouTube or something like that, and you have those those advertisements that come up before you can go through, we paid for some of those things as well. So with that, we had almost 268,000 impressions. So people were seeing advertisements about the community as part of that. And then we had pre-roll video as well. So we were doing, which we started in April, and from that we had 315,000 impressions with that as well. So part of this is really just creating awareness and getting the name of Waco and opportunities out there, so that when they see it, they'll click through on other things. So as we're looking at the proposed strategy, as we're moving forward for this fiscal year, we're going to continue to do activation through monthly captures, doing these email blasts that we do out into the universe. So basically, we're able to identify the types of individuals that we want. It's very Big Brother-ish in a way, where you're able to say, okay, we want to target individuals in these specific geographies, within these age ranges, within these income levels, whether or not they're business owners. We're able to identify those individuals and send them direct email outreach about the community, and for them to learn more about the opportunities that are available either for their business or for them personally. And so we'll continue to do that. We'll do the paid searches. We're going to do, and we're going to really continue to do those videos out there as well, because we feel like that really was a good investment of the dollars. With this, advertisement is a difficult thing to measure because you don't get to see the actual end result. But we know that if we've reached, collectively between just on the video side of it, we've reached almost 750,000 people in a year across the U.S. And I think that's that's a good investment of dollars, and that we're getting people coming through the website and that are clicking through and learning more about the community as well. They're utilizing the In Waco job search component as well. And we are actively pushing and encouraging employers to put their job postings out there too. So thank y'all for your investment in that.
And how much is that investment?
That's $50,000 a year.
From just
From
the county?
the county, yes, sir.
Does the city put the equal amount in?
No, sir, they do not.
So
So,
they get the biggest benefit out of it, don't they?
well, the region gets the benefit, I'd say, because Waco has the brand recognition versus saying, Clinton County or one of our other communities. And so that's why we use In Waco as the brand, because people, when they hear about Waco, there's a curiosity that comes along with that. But I think that everybody's getting the benefit because you have employers from across the region that are participating. We're telling a story about the assets across the region too. But certainly Waco does receive some benefit from it as well.
Yeah.
They didn't participate from the get-go though, correct?
They did the
They did,
first,
okay.
the first year, but they did not, I guess they had to make some choices in reallocation of dollars.
Do you get donations from other companies in our area too for this, or?
For this, sir, we did initially have some businesses that were participating. On the job piece of it, we were encouraging businesses to have their own segment as part of the In Waco campaign. So as we were, for instance, Mars Wrigley was a partner and specifically going out and doing job searches or trying to recruit individuals for technician positions. And so as we were advertising for those, there would be a direct connection to Mars Wrigley as part of that. What we found, though, is that the level of interest isn't necessarily as tied to the jobs as it is to the community. And so we've found that we've gotten a higher level of curiosity and interest in the area when we're pushing more of the quality of life piece of it rather than the employment side of it. And so the employers have a different mindset when it comes to that. And so we don't have any corporate participation at this time.
Well, advertising and promotion is something that's broadly thought of as something that works. It's just hard to say what kind of return we're getting off 50,000. I'm assuming that we're getting a good return. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, if it.
Yes, sir.
As I told Matt and you before, that, we're willing to look at some of these programs that y'all think could work and participate in them, but you need to realize that the next good program that comes along the challenge may be, well, we're already doing this.
Right.
So,
yes, sir.
Just
Yeah.
to answer to the taxpayers, as you know. And
Yes, sir. And, we've had some conversations about it internally as well, and there's not anyone that, other than the Convention and Visitors Bureau, that is really pushing for tourists to come into the community. There's not anyone locally that is pushing an outward message about this as a place for living and working.
Yeah.
And so that's where it differentiates from other messages that are going out into the area. So like City of Waco's A City to Believe In campaign, that's an internal local pride building campaign, not something that is an outward facing for the rest of the world to be looking at. And so
well, there's no doubt
yeah.
the public opinion out there about Waco's changed in McLennan County a lot over the last 20 years or so. To positive, very positive.
Absolutely.
And so it's probably accumulation of all these things, but these job link sites and all that need to understand what we're doing so they can participate and be found.
Yes, sir.
In that too. So, okay. All right.
And then just to give you our monthly report for the month of January, started out really strong on leads. We had 8 for the month of January that came through. That's 5% of our goal for the year. We sent 5 program proposals out for the month as well. Our on-site attraction visits, 4 for January. You know, the more that we get the boots on the ground, the more likely we are to win somebody over. We've had a really good February as well, and I'll be able to report that back to you shortly. Our business retention program, Lexi had a really strong month with 9 visits for the month. And again, I would just say, you know, if you get an invitation for one of those in your precinct, it's really beneficial because you learn about a business that's in your community, but they also just really appreciate getting to see y'all. They're not always there griping about something. They really appreciate. They take a lot of pride in their companies, and they like being able to share that with y'all too. So I would just say, certainly if you get one of those, or you see a business that you'd like us to think it would be important for us to reach out to, please let us know. Overall, our level of activity is still really strong. It had slowed down at the end of the year, which is pretty typical because people go on into the holidays. It took a little bit of time to get things rolling in the start of January. But January into February, now with March, we're seeing a lot of activity coming about, and both domestic and international. We will be making, through the generosity of the Waco-McLennan County EDC, we have expanded dollars related to economic development. We've been in Mexico last week. Seth did a visit to Mexico City as part of the Team Texas and Select USA in Mexico City. So we're expanding out more internationally. We'll have a delegation of folks going to Germany at the end of the month. And that will be great because we'll be visiting some of our existing businesses that have U.S. operations in Waco. But we'll also be doing some business development work as well. So we have several meetings lined up with companies that have expressed an interest in our market. And so we'll be able to capitalize on the time that we have there. So thank y'all for that investment. We really appreciate it.
And these meetings they're pretty much a warm handoff on existing foreign investors that are here in the county now. So it's not going without a plan.
No, not at all. There's a lot of work that goes into putting those trips together. And to be sure, these are not vacations by any stretch. So they will.
They're pretty fast-paced.
Very fast-paced. They'll be in country for 3 days and then back into the U.S. So that's a lot happening in a really short period of time.
Yeah.
So that I'd be happy to answer any other questions y'all might have about.
Any questions? Anyone have? Okay. All right. Do we ready to go in? Okay. So we're going to go into.
You need an action just to approve.
Yeah. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve Chris's report for recording purposes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose. Pass. All right. I'd like to go into executive session on 551.06. 087, the government code regarding economic development negotiations. And I'd like Dustin Chapman to come down and be in the meeting, and Chris Collins to stay in with the commissioners and myself. All right.
he's a pistol.
Yeah, I saw
Well,
him.
the tariffs went into place last night.
WRS the other
Market's
day.
down.
Recording in progress.
The market reflects it.
Yeah. Okay, let's call court back in session. All right, did we cover everything in the agenda?
Yes, we did.
Okay. All right, anything else to come before the court? If not, we stand adjourned. Thank you.